It was clear to me that the bear had him by the face because he had numerous puncture wounds all around, and by the neck.
Only on 5 tonight, a Scottsdale doctor is just feet away from a vicious polar bear attack. In one of the most remote corners of the world, he and his friends worked through the night to keep that victim alive.
CBS 5's Adam Longo is here with this incredible story of survival and more from that exclusive interview that we first brought you last night at 10.
Yeah, Catherine, see, this was a backpacking trip, right? 7 people. They're in one of the most northern reaches of Canada. And when this attack happened, they all had to work together like a well-oiled machine. That was crucial because the victim wouldn't reach a metropolitan hospital for almost 24 hours after the attack. It took 5.5 hours for a rescue helicopter to reach a group of backpackers camped deep inside the Torngat Mountain National Park. Scottsdale doctor Rick Eisenberg was among them on a fjord in the northern tip of Labrador in Canada.
We were being stalked, and what happened that night was a hunt.
This majestic and distant land is deep in the heart of polar bear country. Carnivorous bears that actually see humans as food. The group's camp was surrounded by a portable electric fence to deter any curious or hungry polar bear. On day 2 of what was supposed to be a 12-day trip,
This is the one that hung out on the ledge.
they had actually scared off this polar bear that came too close by shooting a flare gun at him.
We went to bed that night, trusting our electrical fence to protect us, with that bear a half a mile away watching us on a ledge.
24 hours later, on their 3rd night in camp at 2:30 in the morning, Maine attorney Matt Dyer was asleep in this gray tent in the center of the screen.
We heard him scream. He only screamed twice, and I saw the bear dragging the tent and then pulling Matt out of the tent and carrying him off.
A polar bear had charged right through the electric fence and into the camp and was now carrying Dyer off into the twilight by his head and neck.
Our group leader was quick on the trigger with the flare gun.
The bear dropped Dyer about 50 yards away and ran off. When they were sure it was gone, it was time to help their friend.
I ran out there to find Matt. I first found the tent, saw he wasn't there, then found him 20 yards further away. I thought he was dead.
Eisenberg had only Band-Aids and tape to treat Dyer's wounds.
So I tended to him for that very long period of time. It felt like an endless period of time.
The rest of the group was integral in helping Eisenberg and protecting themselves because more bears were still out there.
And everybody had a role. 2 of the folks on the trip, one facing east, one facing west, back to back, each with the flare guns watching, constantly watching. Somebody else making soup, somebody else on the satellite phone.
Around 8 o'clock in the morning, almost 6 hours after the attack, help finally arrived.
There is no sound more welcome than that chopper coming over the hill.